Free-Techno Enterprises. So today we're just going to be talking about the usage of variables in JavaScript. So without any waste of time, I've just navigated through my YouTube tutorials folder in my directory. So what I'm going to do, okay, I've just chosen JavaScript language, so we don't have to save the file. So what I'm going to do is just first of all, what is a variable in any programming language? We call it a stored memory location. What we mean is just that when I want to use the name Freeman multiple times in my program, let me say we are coding a certain program, and then I want to keep on using the name Freeman in the program. So other than just keep on declaring it every now and then, what you can do is just create one variable and then store that value in that variable, so that every time we want to use the name Freeman, we're just going to be calling that variable like this. Let me just say let Freeman, and then we're just going to say this Freeman like this. This is the format in which we create and then name variables in JavaScript. So, but then before we come to here, we're just going to check on these things. Const, let, and var. We say in JavaScript we have three types of block scopes. This is the constant, and this is the let, this is the var. These two have just been introduced in the new syntax of JavaScript, or maybe in the new version of JavaScript, which has come up within the ES6 version. But then this one was already there in the initial versions of JavaScript. So, but for today we're just going to be using the other two, the let and the constant, so that we can familiarize ourselves with the usage of them. So maybe let me just create a new line here. What's a constant? A constant, we call it it's this value that is not going to be changed along the course of the program. What I mean is that when I say const name, and then I want the name to be my name like this, my name like this. What I basically mean here is that this value of name is not going to be changed. Anytime I want to use it in the program, it will continue being my name like this one. But then when I use the let, what I basically mean is that the value of my name can be changed like this one. Sometime I can just say name equals to, let me say, my name 2. If this is in use, this block scope is in use, this can be possible. But if this is in use, then this is not going to be possible. Let me just check if okay, what's happening? We've just chosen a keyword here. Let me just say names, so, and then like this, because the name was a keyword in JavaScript, so that's why it was being cancelled out. But then now it's okay. This is because when naming your variables, you can name them anything. You can name it cow's name, you can name it pet's name, you can name it car name, you can name it anything. Like let me just say here car name. This can be a variable in JavaScript, and then you can just here say here, let me just make it Honda it like this. This can be a variable in JavaScript, and then here you can just say car name, and then you just you just initialize it to something else like old. I suppose this can work. So what we basically mean is that this one can be changed during the course of the program, whereas this one can never be changed. If I were to run this, maybe let me start afresh so that you can be able to run it, so that you can see what I'm talking about. Let me just say console. Okay, start by creating that variable const model, and then here I'm just going to say what model am I talking about. It's Audi A, like this. Then what I mean is that when I console log this model, what I'm going to get is this Audi A. Let us just okay, we need to run this one though, so then we need to save it. So I'm going to save it as main.js. That's simple, I think. So after saving it, then now we can be able to run it. Okay, yes, we can be able to run it now. Let me just run it like this one. I suppose this will open my terminal so that we can be able to run this or this file. Sometimes it's taking too long. Okay, let me just say node main.js and see if it's working. Yes, Audi AI. We have just console logged this Audi AI, and then here we are getting it, our Audi AI. But then if we were to change it so that we can see that this constant can never be changed, if we were to change it like model, let me say is Audi AI, like this, and then console log model, we are just going to see what's gonna happen. Node main.js, we are going to get an error because the constant variable can never be changed. This is where we get our error. Assignment constant variable, you see, because we have just initialized it here. So when we reassigned it here, then the system, I mean the compiler will fail us. So but then with the let, if we say let model, and then we're just going to say out. When we save this one and then we go to the console, I mean what is this, clear? How do we clear the console here? Okay, yes, we go to the console and then say node main.js. We're going to see that this is going to work now. It has just printed out Audi, and then if we go here and then reassign it like model, we say it equals to Audi AI, and then go to the console log and then say node main. We're just running it here, nothing more. You are going to see that it has been changed. Initially we initialized it to be Audi, then now it has just been reassigned to Audi AI, and here we are going to get the Audi AI. That is what we're talking about, that the let variable can be changed during the course of the program, whilst the constant variable can never be changed during the course of the program. So This is the basic usage of variables in JavaScript. Maybe to to create a simple program, we're just going to say what type of program are we going to create. Maybe let's say it's a greeting program. So we want to create a greeting program. It's gonna take the username and then greet the user using the name. Okay, so we're going to have a variable that stores the username. Now let me say let user name, and then we're going to say Robert Mugabe, and then const user, let me say user age, because variables can be of any type in JavaScript. JavaScript will be able to detect that we need to use a string here, we need to use numbers here, we need to use boolean here, we need to use any data type here. So JavaScript does it automatically behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about it like any other languages, like for the likes of Java, where you are going to say string what or integer what. So here we are going to say Mugabe has got 52 years. So this program is going to greet Mugabe and then tell us how old is Mugabe right now. So what we're going to do, we're just going to say console log good evening Mr. and then here concatenate with the username, and then here we're just going to say user age. Right, okay, this is tab 9, but then I'm just going to say your age is, and then it's going to give us user age. So what happened here? Okay, maybe let me just control B so that we can see our code much clearer. So what happened here is that we declared two variables. The first one was the username, the second one was the age, and then we're just using our variables in our program now. So here, good evening, we're just greeting our user, and then this username is storing this username, this name. So we are going to get good evening Mr. Robert Mugabe here, and then your age here, this age is going to be transferred to here. This is what we call variables, because they store these values into them. That is why they are called variables. So if you can save this one and then try to run it. Oh no, .main.js, we're going to see that we have a good evening Mr. Mugabe, Mr. Robert Mugabe, your age is 52. That's what we call variables. Variables can be used in many things in JavaScript. Can be used in functions, can be used in classes, and can be used globally. But then now we've just demonstrated the usage of variables and created a simple short program as usually in our coding or programming series. What we said here is that this one can never be changed. If I were to try to change this and give it to 53, I was going to get an error, but this one can be changed. If I can say now the username is maybe Miriam Makeba or whatever, then I'm going to get Miriam Makeba here or whatsoever I want to change it to, depending on the specification of the program I am developing or I am coding. So this one can be changed and this one can never be changed. These are the most the most popular, there are block scopes or variables that you'll be using in JavaScript. It will be the constant on the let. Depending on whenever you want to change the value, if you don't want to change it, you're just going to use it to declare it like this. It should be a constant. But if you want to change it in future, you're just going to use the let variable scope. So I think for today, thanks for watching once again. I will see you in future tutorials. Please subscribe and like.